madness, insanity, batshit crazy. These are the trademark personality traits of none other than Cicero, the tiny but deadly Imperial assassin. He is one of the last remaining members of the Dark Brotherhood outside of Skyrim and is the current keeper of the Night Mother. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scott and welcome back to FudgeMuppet. In our most recent stream, people were asking to see a lore video on Cicero, like the one we did with Azadal, a complete telling of the story of Cicero. You guys asked for it, so here it is. The story of Cicero. Before we begin this maddening tale, let me know in the comments below what other characters in Skyrim and Elder Scrolls lore would you like to see? Which stories do you want to see told? So as with all stories, first we go back to the beginning, or at least as far back as we possibly can. Now, Cicero is a difficult one. It is very hard to find any information on him dating back before the 186th year, 15 years before the events of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Now, Cicero is an imperial man of short stature. It would be fair to assume that he was born in Cyrodiil, and judging from his appearance in Skyrim, I would assume that at this time, in the 186th year, he is a young adult, perhaps 20 years old. Now, at this point in Cicero's life, he was a member of the Dark Brotherhood of Assassins, the devious cult of killers who worship Sithis and the Night Mother. Cicero had once resided in the Bruma Sanctuary among his fellow assassins, but it was destroyed and its members killed, by whom we do not know. After the destruction of the Bruma Sanctuary, Cicero travelled to the eastern city of Cheydinhal, home to another Dark Brotherhood sanctuary, in fact the very same one that was featured in Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. And the cool thing is that he mentions that the ghosts of purification still haunt the halls of this sanctuary. For those who aren't aware, in Oblivion you purge the sanctuary to root out potential traitors, and these ghosts are those victims. Anyways, he was greeted by Rasha and other residing assassins. Cheydinhal worked out quite well for a while. He killed a baroness and her handmaiden, and he took delight in the abundance of contracts as well as the sweet bonuses. However, the sad truth behind the abundance of contracts was in fact the scarcity of Dark Brotherhood members. At this point in time, in the 187th year of the Fourth Era, Dark Brotherhood sanctuaries were being destroyed or abandoned by its members all over Tamriel. At this point, they even lacked any physical presence in the province of Hammerfell, which was making it difficult to fulfill or establish contracts. The Black Hand, the leading group of the Dark Brotherhood, were disagreeing on whether to consolidate or expand, but Cicero himself worried that if nothing was done, people would lose faith in the power of the Dark Brotherhood. At the end of the month, the listener, Alessandre Dupre, presumably a Breton, visited the Cheydinhal Sanctuary. Alessandre herself had a private residence in Breville, home of the Night Mother's crypt. This is where she would learn of all the new contracts from the Night Mother. She came to Cheydinhal to discuss with Rasha the reopening of the Shadowscale training facility in the Black Marsh city of Archon. Shadowscales, for those who don't know, are Argonians born under the sign of the Shadow, who are trained from birth as assassins. Unfortunately, due to the lack of resources, they could not follow through with the plan. Meanwhile, Cicero also assassinated the grand champion of the arena in the Imperial City. He pretended to be an adoring fan, following him around, singing his praises. Sound familiar? Well, he followed him around and they went through the great forest and Cicero slit his throat, leaving him for the bears. If you became the grand champion in Oblivion, then the adoring fan would follow you around, though I wouldn't feel as comfortable around him anymore knowing the tricks Cicero pulled. In the 188th year of the Fourth Era, the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary in Wayrest fell to Corsairs who were raiding the city, so no longer would High Rock be a place of safety for the children of Sithis. At this point in time, only 3 sanctuaries remained: the Cheydinhal Sanctuary in Cyrodiil, where Cicero resided, the Skyrim Sanctuary, and the Corinth Sanctuary in Elsewhere. However, this was shut down and its members were then integrated into the Cheydinhal Sanctuary. Cicero remained in the sanctuary for a while the situation in Breville got out of hand. Breville erupted into violence, with the 2 biggest gangs of skooma traffickers going to war. Rasha sends Garnag and Andronica to Breville to help defend the Night Mother's crypt with the listener. Cicero begged to go and help, but Rasha did not allow him. In the meantime, he took a contract to kill a silk merchant, but forfeited the bonus when he had to kill the daughter who witnessed it. Something must have been bothering him. Communications from Breville had ceased until Garnag returned alone with the Night Mother's coffin. Alysanne was burnt alive by a mage and Andronica cut into pieces. Garnag escaped with a wound that would cost him his right eye, but he managed to get back with the Night Mother. This tragic story had left Cicero and the Dark Brotherhood in ruins. With no listener, the Black Sacraments would not be heard. Until a new listener was chosen, they would try to maintain the illusion of presence. The year was 189 of the Fourth Era, and no one had been chosen as a listener. Rasher and the Black Hand decided to name Cicero the Keeper, an ancient role of guardian who would protect the Night Mother's remains. However, for Cicero, there was a conflict of honor and sadness. This would mean he would never go on a contract again, though he would be granted one final contract before he accepted his role as Keeper. This is where Cicero assassinates a Jester, who laughed and laughed until Cicero killed him. Cicero then officially became the Keeper, preserving and protecting the Night Mother's physical remains with oils and incantations, also exterminating any pests like rats or insects. This was necessary as her physical body is the conduit that she uses to communicate with the listener, if they had one. This is the beginning of the madness that you know today. Cicero's journal documents his thoughts, begging, wishing for the Night Mother to speak to him. He looked fondly on the last man he killed, the Jester, saying he was honored to know him. But months later, like so many cities of Cyrodiil before it, Shadenhall erupted into chaos and violence, but the sanctuary remained intact for a time. Cicero talks of the deafening silence. He had begun his descent into true madness. Rasher declared himself listener, but when he was questioned, he could not speak the binding words. Cicero thought him a liar, traitor, and deceiver, but as per his role, he did not wield the knife, but instead, he convinced Garnag to slaughter Rasher. It was the 190th year of the Fourth Era, and only Cicero, Pontius, and Garnag remained in the Shadenhall sanctuary. The laughing of the Jester seeped deeper and deeper into Cicero's mind. Pontius was killed by a common bandit while wandering the streets, and Garnag left for food and had not returned. It seemed that he never would either. By the 192nd year, he had gone mad. Cicero is dead. Cicero is born. A direct quote from his journal, and it is this that is the true birth of the crazy Jester you know today. Behold Cicero, full of hearts, laughter incarnate. He stays in the hidden sanctuary, protecting his dear Night Mother for 8 more years before he decided to flee. In the year 200, he wrote letters to Astrid and arranged to come to the Skyrim sanctuary. But how had it survived, he thought? They could not hear the word of the Night Mother, so how are they performing contracts? But before he would head to Astrid, he would make the Dawnstar Sanctuary his home, an ancient Dark Brotherhood sanctuary blessed by Sithis. The guardian ghosts recognized Cicero as the Keeper and did not harm him. Cicero desperately tries to hear the words of the Night Mother, but alas, she does not speak to him, and he finally accepted his fate. He would never be listener. So he goes to the sanctuary in Skyrim to show Astrid the error of her ways. This is where Cicero's story as the crazy maniacal Jester crosses with yours in the Dark Brotherhood questline. I won't explain the whole questline here, but it results in you having the option to kill Cicero. However, I do think this is the wrong choice if you truly are loyal to the Night Mother. While absolutely batshit crazy, he is a loyal servant of Sithis and keeper of the Night Mother, who has done nothing except perform his duty and try to uphold the old ways of the Dark Brotherhood. So take pity on this poor fool. How about you guys let me know what you think about Cicero in the comments below. Now that you know his story and the things he went through, what do you think? Have you gained some new perspective on this crazy killer? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. We appreciate deeply all the support that you guys give to us. We sincerely appreciate it. And like I said at the start of the video, let us know in the comments below what other character stories you would like told on the channel. Anyways, social media links can be found in the description along with a link to our Twitch channel where we are now streaming 3 times a week. My name is Scott, thanks for watching, and I look forward to nerding out with you again next time.